Oh boy, am I excited for today's episode. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be showing you something a little bit more significant. We're going to be going from this to this. As always, we're just here in our garage, working on our Jeep with a couple of tools that we got at home.
If you missed out on the fuel injector giveaway, not a problem. We still have an active LED headlight giveaway all the way until October 13. Please find the video on our channel and make sure to comment and subscribe to it just so you get entered for a chance to win. We're anticipating like maybe 200, 150 responses, so that puts everyone at about like 0.5% to 1% chance of winning the LED headlights. Those are pretty good odds if you ask me, better odds than many other giveaways that I've seen. In front of us today we have a MotoFab 3-inch spacer lift kit. We're gonna install this lift kit because I think it fits our channel perfectly. We have been showing you mostly affordable mods that you can do at home, and what better way to lift a Jeep than to do a complete lift kit from MotoFab. You could find this on Amazon. I'll drop the link in the comments below and in the description below. And we'll show you step by step how to install it, as well as we'll go ahead and unbox this lift kit just to see everything that comes within it. The reason we went with this lift kit is because everyone on Amazon absolutely loves it. They cannot stop talking highly enough about it, and so we thought we'd give it a try. It's pretty affordable. Go ahead, check it out, click that link, and let's get started. So here are some of the things you're gonna need. You're gonna need some screwdrivers, I suppose, ratchets, wrenches, extensions. I have air tools. I'm only gonna use it because I don't wanna be in the garage for 20 hours. You could definitely do this by hand, but because I'm recording and all that, I feel like it'll be just much more convenient for me to use air tools. If you have air tools, use them. Some adjustable wrenches, spring compressor, drop the link in the description. Gloves, personal protective equipment, safety is number one, right all? Alrighty. We're also gonna use some jack stands as well as a jack. We purchased that one at Harbor Freight. It's about 3 tons, $80 or so. So without further ado, let's get started. You're also gonna need a good light for this project. This is one that we use. It is this like LED panel light which screws into a regular socket over here. It's extremely bright and you get to adjust it exactly how you'd like. I'll also drop the link in the description for this as well. Pretty cheap, I think like 20 bucks or so, and we literally cannot stop talking about it. Hey Arlene, what do you think about the lift kit upgrade?
Super excited. We've been waiting to do this for quite some time, so I'm super excited to finally actually do it.
So just to get some clips before we begin, this is what the fenders look like. Let's see, stand beside it, let's see. All right, decent, it's already decently tall. These are 35-inch tires, as some of you know. All right. Pretty decent clearance. We cut our original fenders. All right, so let's unbox the lift kit. So looks like it comes with a page of instructions with all the parts labeled over here, as well as the front and rear set steps. Let's see, nicely packaged. Okay. Looks like everything's individually wrapped in paper here. All right, this is the complete kit. Looks like we have the rear coil spacers here, front coil spacers, rear shock extenders, front shock extenders, brake line extenders, clips to hold down the rear spacers. We'll see how that works out, and a bunch of bolts. Looks pretty straightforward. Hopefully we can do this quickly. We'll let you know how long it takes. First step, we're gonna go ahead and jack the vehicle off the floor. Don't forget to chalk the rear tires.
We are putting a jack under the frame. One on each side.
Tires are off the ground. Time to remove the lugs. I know I'm not using an impact head. I actually lost my 3/4 head. This isn't a good thing to do. I didn't want to go buy another one. It'll do for now. Now that we have the wheels off, thanks to our friend impact wrench, gonna drop the axles. So next we're gonna remove the sway bar lower bolt. I wasn't able to fit my impact here, gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna grab some liquid wrench and just spray it on some of these nuts and bolts that we're gonna remove, just to make it a little easier. Brake line extender. Time to remove. I'm just adding a little support to the bottom of the rotor, just in case it falls down. And we're gonna take out the lower shock bolts now. All right, gonna go ahead and lower the axle down. Remove the swing. Now go ahead and remove the factory spring isolator, this rubber piece over here. Place your 3-inch spacer, and that's it. Now we have to put our spring back into place.
And it's in. Wow.
Make sure you rotate it all the way until the bottom meets its bump stop. Just like that. Real quick, I want to show how happy I am right now. I was expecting to use these spring compressors over here, but for the front right corner, I didn't even have to use it. That shaved a lot of time, a lot of elbow grease off. I love it. I'm super happy right now. Can you tell?
I can.
So we're gonna go ahead and install the shock bracket on the front. There's a total of 3 holes on this thing. The uppermost hole is for the original shocks. There's a hole on the bottom which we're gonna slide the 13mm bolt through the frame on the vehicle. And then we have a bottom bolt which we're gonna use the largest bolt that came in the set. So we're gonna go ahead and install that now. quick note here, our supplied nut doesn't want to slide over or screw onto the bolt. It just seems like it's not the right size. Fortunately, we have extra nuts here, and so we found one in our garage that fits right on. So we're gonna go ahead and use their supplied lock washer. Time to go ahead and jack it up, back up.
Alrighty guys, so here is where it actually is supposed to be bolted onto. Initially we were a little bit worried because there wasn't a lot of wax over here. Just tug on it, it'll work. And on to side number 2. Now we're on the front left.
You're just gonna repeat the whole process on this side and you'll be done with the front. I wonder if I can just add the extender now.
That's what I thought you were gonna try to do. To get the tires back on, we have to lift the car far enough. Jack doesn't do it, so we added a piece of wood to help.
Once the Jeep is back on the floor, go ahead and connect the sway bar links again. Alright everyone, so what we're doing here is we're removing the lower sway bar end link on the left rear side. And the socket doesn't quite fit in here, so we're using 2 adjustable wrenches. Now that we have the shock disconnected as well as the lower sway bar link, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the spring right now. Looks like the isolator came out with it.
Alrighty guys, so after we took that spring out from the back side, we put the rear spacer retainer, just slipped it right in, and this is how it's going to look.
Above the frame. So I have the rear spacer here. This part is going to face down. I went ahead and installed the retainer above the perch, above the frame, and what's going to happen is I'm going to place this and then screw this into place, just like so. And this is to keep the spacer up.
Looks pretty similar to last time.
Sides are way easier. Back is way easier. We decided to take the evening off yesterday. We went to a concert. We spent about 4 hours total. A lot of that had to do with a lug nut that was just a disaster, so it had nothing to do with the lift kit. Today we're going to continue the task. We just have the rears left. The wheels are already off the rear, as you guys know. We're going to go ahead and install everything, button everything up, probably do an alignment, and go from there. Hopefully it doesn't take us more than a couple hours today, because we have plans to do.
What happened, bud?
Well, let's go ahead and remove the rear shock upper bolts, the 2 bolts, and then it'll give us a little more access to the area. Next step is to place the spring isolator in. Of note, we were not able to fully tighten this down. Apparently that is not a problem at all. It's just like an extra safety mechanism, so we're okay with it.
Alrighty guys, so we ended up using the spring compressors because we couldn't quite get it in by hand.
Next up, we're gonna go ahead and install the shock spacer onto the upper shock area, and then thread 2 of the screws, the bolts that came with the kit. And so this is the part that goes to the upper shock mount. We're gonna bolt this up and then worry about the bottom later. So let's get started. We put the bolt back in our shock, down over there. Now we're going to do the same thing to the sway bar end link. And that's the wrap for this side.
It's gonna have to lift the axle in order to be able to do that. Finished up that back left side. All we have to do is repeat the same steps to the back right, and we will be finished.
We're gonna start off with the brake line extender, then disconnect the shocks, disconnect the sway bar end link, remove the spring, put in the spring spacer, reconnect the shock with the extender, reconnect the shock's lower bolt, reconnect the tie bar, the sway bar end link, and that's that. Put the tires on and time to enjoy the Jeep. So this is the last spring we're installing, and we're having to use spring compressors because we've already installed the lift on the other side, which makes it more difficult to drop the axle on this side. Now with these devices, you want to be very careful and use the safety locking silver mechanisms, as well as only use manual hand tools as you do this. And the goal is to keep both sides nice and even so that there's not more force or tension on one side or the other. Now, I myself am guilty of using an impact just because it shortens the time dramatically, but you should definitely just use a manual hand tool if you're not in any kind of rush, as in us today, and try to keep yourself away from the direction of action. Like, if you gotta imagine if this were to release right now, where would it shoot? You want to stay perpendicular to that and not parallel to it. So springs, cars, they're all replaceable. Your limbs, your life aren't. Woo. It's good.
Bring that over here. Hold them both out by compressing the spring using our jack.
So today it took us about 2 hours to get the rears done. It's really quick. It takes, the longest part is to just figure out how to do one side, and then the other side happens within 20-30 minutes. Now the last spring we had to use a spring compressor, but other than that, everything was very smooth, very straightforward. MotoFab lift kit is pretty rad. Everything is made out of this thick, powder coated metals. Maybe, I think it's steel, I don't think it's aluminum. It's really heavy, it seems heavy duty. I know spring. The beauty of the spacer lift kit is we have the Rubicon shocks. It's gonna maintain that smooth OEM driving style, and so that's really what we wanted. We didn't want to get like a subpar lift kit with crappy shocks, and we just wanted to maintain our stock ride, and I think we were able to accomplish that. Let's take it for a spin. In case you're wondering what 35-inch tires on cut fenders and a 3-inch lift looks like Lots of articulation room here. We could probably even clear 37s, maybe even 38s, no problem.